Hey guys, what's up? I am GojiFan98 and welcome back for another new video for today. Today I am going to continue on for the next episode of GojiFan98's Toho Kaiju-A-Thon. In this episode I am going to review the Toho's 1958 movie, Varan. Also known in Japan as Kaiju Varan, known as Giant Monster Varan, later came in the United States as Varan the Unbelievable, for an Americanized version of the movie. Varan had an interesting history we're going to discuss. After its success for the Godzilla 1954 and Rodan release in America American studio, most likely APD PD Pictures, asked Toho to make it a movie for Toho Kaiju movie to appear on for as TV movie. When it was in production, the American studio has dropped out of this during its production, and leaving Japan decided to do it all alone to transform it into Japanese theatrically release. So the movie was directed by the same director who directed the first Godzilla, was Ishiro Hondo, returned to direct this entrance in the Toho Kaiju movie Varan. And the composer was done by Akira Ifukube, and Eiji Iwaya was once again helped for director special effects, and the new screenplay writer by Shinichi Sekizawa, his first time he ever wrote the script for the movie. And the original story was written by the same guy who wrote the original story for Rodan, was brought back and wrote in the original draft. But later Shinichi Sekizawa was approached by Toho to write the script for Varan, with the content element we would throw in from the original story. So there was a concept artist who working on Varan was named as Akira Watanabe, who'd been working on a Toho Kaiju movie ever since the original Godzilla. He designed Varan and given the monster have the ability to glide. According to Eiji Iwaya, Varan was like a cross between Godzilla and Kappa hybrid. The suit makers were working on the design for a monster was Toshio Toshimitsu sculpted Varan's head, while the Yagi brothers, Kazuhiro Yasure, handled his body, and a new guy named Kenzuro Murase working on the monster's back, his skin, his back, and spike. Murase construct the monster's scale out of peanut shells, while the spike was created by losing tubing, which was cut into size and wrapped in sheath and vinyl. The suit's eye can also allow it to glow. Color suit of the suit was reported was brown, while some of the public publicity still showed him painting the monster green. There were two suit actors who would play a shared role of Varan, like did in Rodan and Mogera from the Mysterians, while Rodan in his own film. Haru Nakajima and Katsumi Tezuka were doing a shared role in the monster. Nakajima only doing most of his scene in the land scene, while Katsumi Tezuka does doing a Varan part with the water scene. And it was also reported during the filming with Varan, Haru Nakajima was injured during the filming when a truck exploded underneath Varan, badly burning his stomach. According to the interview with Haru Nakajima back in the 90s, he described where he was injured at. And the filmmaker only using a recycled shot from Godzilla 1954 and Godzilla Race Again, but there's also some strange frame error where you could see Godzilla in a shot for erroneous frame, according to Kaiju Profile from Varan by Wikizilla. And the movie features the return of familiar face for we know, like Akihiko Hirata returns, and he plays Dr. Fujimura. He was created a powerful bomb, which that will later be useful against Varan and kill it. To mark the Japanese self-defense force had another monster they had killed. As another movie featured the army kills the monster like they did for Rodan, and fight against robot monster Mogera, that's pretty cool. And as well, Yuichi Tsuchida was also making an appearance in this movie. He was played as the army commander, it was nice to see this guy in action. Always will. And I like Varan. He was my favorite kaiju of all time, and I like Varan's his own film. This movie, Varan, for 1958, it's where we first met Varan, who will later cross over in the Godzilla series about 10 years later in Destroy All Monsters, but I'll have to save it until I get a little bit of history legacy for Varan. I liked the story and everything was pretty cool, but the villager in Toku region, Japan, call Varan as Baradagi because he is a local mountain god for the legend. For other country region, thinking it was all superstition, but the villagers think it's real. And yeah, I liked when the military had first attacked Varan during in the lake, but none of their weapon had effected on him. He just kept coming, because nothing could ever get him down. So, anyway, I like everything on what's going on about Varan. I like to have a monster have the ability to glide. When he raises his arm up in the air, he has a flap skin rise up, much like a flying squirrel that gave him the ability to glide. Not fly, glide into the district. And have the same speed as the Showa Rodan's flight speed. But there are a lot of stuff about it. But Varan does not have any combat experience in the movie, only he just, like, walking and smash down. That he doesn't have any punching skills, but only happens in Godzilla Unleashed on Nintendo Wii game. So, toward the end of the movie, the army managed to decide to using a powerful bomb by dropping it for flare so that Varan can eat it. However, it did work. After the first bomb exploded, it really hurt Varan. While mortally wounded, Varan decided to crawl back in the ocean before the final bomb would explode and kill him. As of the marks at the time, they finally got rid of Varan this time. After many plans they tried, didn't work, because his skin was too tough to get it penetrate, but not for the powerful bomb that destroys it. Toho never used that powerful bomb ever again, but that's only what they had to thought they want to do. Anyway, now for the legacy for Varan. During its production in the original story, for the original plans for Destroy All Monsters, Varan had a larger role in the movie, fighting alongside with Rodan against King Ghidorah. Unfortunately, due to the leakable for Varan suit became unusable at the time, because it was heavy damage during the filming for Varan, using the water scene and so many explosion material all over it. The filmmaker only managed to salvage the gliding prop, was only given Varan to have a few brief shots, alongside with some other monster cast public publicity stills for Destroy All Monsters. As to describe it, he was 10 meters of height, stating he was a juvenile, as a second generation Varan. I was kind of really upset that we didn't get a chance to see Varan more action because of his suit was too damaged. But later, in 1972, while the writing script in 1971, follow after Godzilla vs. Space Monster, Earth's Defense Directive script didn't come up with a plan when it was cancelled. Shinichi Sekizawa was brought back by Toho at the time, wrote 2 treatments on his own for the 12 entrants in the Godzilla movie. The first was The Return of King Ghidorah, featured Varan team up with Godzilla and Rodan to fight against King Ghidorah, Gigan, and an alien dragon called Mugo. They were opposed by an alien Space Hunter M who were operating in the Godzilla Tower. Unfortunately, it might be leakable for having a Varan student might spill slightly to his doom. During the 90s, while working on to come up with the idea of making the final entrance in the Godzilla series for the Heisei series, to feature Varan supposed to be the final enemy for Godzilla to fight with in the Heisei series, titled Godzilla vs. Giant Monster Varan, to feature countless story proposal who will later become Godzilla vs. Destroyer, to feature Varan as a harbinger of the apocalypse who will emerge to destroy the world in the year of 1999, who will later be defeated by the combined might between Godzilla and Little Godzilla who defeat him. But it was never happened at the time. Later, Varan made one last try to get him to appearance in the movie again, was Shusuke Kaneko's original concept for GNK, titled Godzilla X Varan, Baragon, and Angara's Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Here, Varan was an ancient guardian monster known as Baradagi, the White Wind Monster, who joined forces with a golden freezing monster called Angira and the red-hot monster Baragora to defend Japan against Godzilla, while the 3 guardian monsters were later renamed to Varan, Anguirus, and Baragon by the Japanese Self-Defense Force. However, to have the three Asian guardian monsters fight against Godzilla in a final showdown in Yokohama. However, Godzilla proceedingly killed all three of them, but they managed to wound Godzilla enough for Kotengo to finish him off. Well, Kaneko, his story was approved by Toho, but Toho chairman Insuo Masuoka requests Kaneko to replace Varan and Anguirus to focus on the most popular monster, Mothra and King Ghidorah, for the film's marketability. Kaneko agreed. He gave Varan and Anguirus for the axes out of his script, and kept Baradagi in the final draft as a reduced role, for what became Godzilla and Mothra and King Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Out Attack. But Varan happened when the suitmaker Fuyuki Shinada was very disappointed that Varan, his all-time favorite monster, didn't make an appearance in the movie. So he sculpted Varan's official fins onto the heads of King Ghidorah's suit. Later, Varan made another two appearances. Only one of them was appearing as Dodge Flares in the opening montage for Godzilla Final Wars, and its skull appearance on the monitor in a split second in the Pacific Rim Uprising. Now, when Varan 1958 came in America, released in 1962 by Corey and Dallas Production, to feature Varan, to modify Varan for an Americanized version of the movie, like Godzilla and King of the Monsters and Gigantus the Fire Monster before it. To feature American actors in it, Corey and Dallas Production must be spending most of half their $5 budget to feature a prop claw where Varan had quartered a new character in the cave. According to what I heard, Varan's name was never spoken in the movie. His name was never been named in the film, but the villager called him Obake, a type of yokai, and his Godzilla-like roar was replaced by hissing growling instead. Later, more legacy I have to tell you. I have a pet Komodo dragon named Varan, named after Varan. Unfortunately, my Komodo dragon Varan had died on October 9th of 2021. My sister been took good care of him since I passed the torch to Varan to my sister. And I thought I want to give this video to lovely memory to my Kuno dragon Varan. But we will hopefully one day we will get Varan to return on the movie screen. Hopefully we will get the American incarnation of Varan if MonsterVerse will continue. But later, there's one thing I need to mention. In Godzilla Singular Point, Varan's design will later be useful for Godzilla's second form on Singular Point, before switching to Gorosaurus' inspired design. But hopefully we'll get Varan for real to return in Godzilla Singular Point, or wherever they're going to have to come up with. Well, that's all I have to say for Varan. Stay tuned to next episode. I am going to reveal the 3 treasure, which is, it does have monster in it, was the Orochi, the 8-headed dragon. Well, stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and please go check out to find Varan your own copy of it on Amazon. But one thing I need to mention, I did see the American version of Varan. I didn't like it because it's just really kind of a little bit really different, and I just didn't like it. I seen it on 2B, which is, you'll go check it out so you can find Varan, so you might see how bad it is. I just didn't like it. But I just don't. But it did came on DVD on Amazon, but I might get it for my collection, even when I still don't like it. So, thanks for watching. And stay Veggie fans as always. And GojiFan98's will always be here for more, and do more videos in the future. So yeah, so stay Veggie fans as always. So remember my friends, bye bye.